Good evening, everybody, and welcome to San Antonio by Night. We are kicking off a little bit late today uh, because I'm a silly goose and woke up from a nap too late. Ha! We have a cat. Um, the last time we left off, uh, the coterie known as the host got together and decided what they were going to do with Emmanuel, the person that they abducted from the clutches of, or from the domain of Baron Jameson. They had every intention of returning him to his domain for a moment, or at least they told them they would. But then they decided that they would allow Carlos, the new Tremere fledgling in the basement, to feed on Emmanuel. Being a young and unexperienced Tremere, this particular fledgling just could not control himself in the fact that he was hungry. And so, as a result, Emmanuel was mortally injured, and the coterie had to act quickly in order to save this person's life. Urian called in some favors, as did Benji with Julia, Carlos's child, his actual child, his daughter, and managed to keep the situation from spiraling so far as they can tell. So tonight we start a new night. The following night, the the young man Emmanuel is in the basement, chained, still injured, still recovering from his injuries. But Doc, Urian's contact, said that he should be okay. There might be some brain damage, but they can't know for sure, having needed to act so quickly. So our coterie is in a bit of a pickle. What do they do with this Tremere fledgling and this human that they've abducted? And where do they go from here? So, I would like everyone to make rouse checks. Urian, thankfully, that beast is getting no louder in your head.
That's good. It would not end up staying silent for much longer.
Nope, it's having a hard time doing so now. Benji, your little voice is still as quiet as it was. Amber, you feeling all right? And so, you each wake up in your respective havens. Where shall we begin? Urian, you are the one who usually gets to the coterie house or sleeps at the coterie house and usually knows the situation before anyone else does. So why don't you tell us what your thoughts are waking up this evening?
It is a terrible kindred who would ignore when they are a danger to others and themselves in the masquerade. And I am no different in realizing that I hunger greatly. The question is am I willing to risk the beast for it? The truth of the matter is I have already set the example. Last night, before she left, I was very close to wanting to sink fangs into Ember.
Mm,
She is such the delicious morsel, like uh, the blood of a Toreador. Still,
she is a beauty.
I find myself oftentimes biting into my own fingers. Thought I have to remain composed. I am the one who is supposed to serve as the bedrock for this coterie. The truth is that I oftentimes question my own abilities. And right now, all I can think of is sweet Vitae. Still, I try not to pass it off as another concern of theirs. I may have to hunt. I may have to look for something that is palatable. Or maybe I'll just end up hating Carlos and finish the job I've begun. I am unsure. I am unsure, and this is a situation I do not enjoy. I do not like being sure of my own actions.
Your beast has made mention of Carlos several times in your mind.
And that would answer so many questions and solve so many problems if he were to just go away. However, I have promised Benji I would give him time. And if I have my do not have my word, then I have nothing. So, as it stands right now, I am at an impasse. My job in this domain is to guide the fledglings, to help them rise above their own situations, prove to themselves and to the rest of the Anarch movement that they are worth it. And yet I find myself slipping, slowly but surely. I am weakened right now. And in this weakened state, I am vulnerable, and more than any other kindred here I know, I have made more enemies. They will come. And if they were to learn of my condition right now, well, we've already seen where that dance takes us.
Well, it's definitely something that agitates every kindred when they get very hungry. Benji, how are you doing today?
I'm conflicted.
Why would you be conflicted?
Well, recently, I've been coming to a realization. I'm finding more and more that I'm not a good person. I'm getting that now. I really do. I spend a lot of time thinking human, thinking like I can keep acting like I used to when I breathed. Now I understand I can't. I can't because it gets people hurt or killed. I can't pull the trigger on letting that happen either because it just fucks with me. And I can't keep fucking around because I'm some undead thing and all I can fucking seem to think about is blood. Fuck! I just have to be more careful. I have to find a use for this. This power, this energy, all this fucking emotions. I have to start focusing it, or maybe I have to make it scarce. After seeing what M could do, just constantly confuse someone, or Isabella being able to just wipe someone's memory, it just seems so easy. I envy it.
It would make things a lot easier, that is for sure. But something like that would come at a hefty price, and you already owe Isabella.
I do. I guess I'll just have to play my cards right. Set myself on an even playing ground with everyone else. I can't play the game like everyone else does, so I guess I just gotta play it different.
Play it unique to yourself. And then there's Amber, our newest member. The one who seems to be a little bit perturbed at Urian right now.
Yes, quite perturbed. Not so much the particulars of his, like his condition, like
Condition?
if, like in terms of like him needing to feed on kindred, like other kindred, like different strokes for different folks and all that, but
Quite the taboo amongst many Anarch circles.
yes, but at the same time, it's what one needs to survive, and I cannot fault anything of that, no matter the reason. But no, it's more the looks he's been giving me. That is what unsettles me, and yeah, no, that's uncomfortable. It's exceptionally uncomfortable. But I mean, on a lighter note, I've been able to get some stuff off my chest. Benji now knows what I said to Emmanuel regarding him and his assets. Oh, Benji. Sweet, adorable, innocent little Benji. That's... It's cute. I like it. It's cute. Makes me look at him a little differently.
Well, we'll certainly see where that takes us.
Very much so.
So, do you all make it to the coterie house, or do you have plans before then?
I will make a point of trying to. I apologize. I am making a point to contact some of my dear friends. After all, I must be active in particular circles, and if I am to build up this small cult, shall we say, then I must end up putting myself in, well, the spotlight. I am organizing another Black Mass, and perhaps hinting that there might be a particular celebrity that has come to join us.
Who does
Maybe.
Mr. Doyle have in mind?
Well, no, for you to find out, you must attend. I look forward to seeing that.
So you make the different phone calls. You connect with Levy and see what he's able to put together as far as who he might know, as well as a couple of the other attendees from the last Black Mass, and everyone seems very excited to get together again. So,
Oh, I would certainly hope so.
yes, they are certainly excited to get together again. So you are able to arrange that for whatever day you see fit, Mr. Doyle.
Well, I will endeavor to keep them in the loop, so to speak. At right now, I just wish to make it known that such an event is, in fact, coming.
Putting the feelers out, as it were.
Yes, of course. And it helps significantly.
Garner the interest. Amber, Benji, do you have any plans before getting together with Urian?
Benji's primary concern right now involves getting together with the coterie. He promised to take the girls to dinner. That's what he's gonna do.
Such a gentleman.
Yes, I don't.
All right.
It's going to the coterie house. Although, one thing I know I will do whilst we are out is search for something a little bit more in Urian's line of taste. He needs he needs something to eat, if only to get those eyes off me for a moment.
Hmm.
Oh, actually, there is one thing I need to do.
Oh,
I need to go and make a withdrawal from the bank.
you have whatever cash you have available to you.
Yep.
Resources wise.
I owe Yuri some money, and I'll deal with that on the way to the coterie house.
Perfect. That begs the question, Amber. What is the state of your existence in the mortal world?
I have currently set Instagram pictures, things
Hmm.
like that. Probably receiving money through platforms such as Patreon and the like.
Nobody is any wiser that you are kindred. Except that they don't see you during the day, which most people assume is just you taking part in the nightlife, I'm sure.
Yeah, I'm a member of the nightlife and have my skin's a little bit photosensitive, so it's hard to go out during the day.
Mm,
So I became, I just had to go on the nocturnal cycle, do stuff during the night rather than during the day.
perfect.
I could probably get the medical certificates faked for that.
You maybe know some people who know some people. And so you all arrive intermittently, but you all do gather together. M seems to be in her room for the moment, just getting herself ready for the day. She tends to spend a lot of time there, but she will come out whenever it is that she feels that she wants to. But the three of you are in the front room at the moment. What do you do?
Man. All right. Well, if anyone else is prepared, I'd say we get going sooner than later. Amber, is there anything? Do you need anything special?
No, no,
No.
particular. Although, and she.
Oh, come now, Amber, you are a woman of rarefied tastes. Please, do not feel you need to lower yourself to the rest of the rabble, such as we.
Just like I have a particular preference for pretty, but otherwise I'm not. It's a preference.
No. to, to end up finding one as beautiful as you would be in a challenge that would end up taking more than a lifetime. And alas, I and Benji would not end up qualifying. Benji is far more handsome than me, of course.
Like ever internally makes a note of that and just not no, kind of nods along with it. I suppose kind of deal. But she's like, that reminds me. Amber is going to hand over a small duffel bag to Urian. And
Yeah,
when Urian opens the bag, he will see that it is filled with $3,000 in smallish bills, like 20s and 50s, rather than your regular 100 stacks. Is like, as agreed.
As agreed. Zips it up. And kind of ends up here pushing, or it is alongside with his book bag. And looks to Benji. So, now that you have fulfilled your first outing, Benji, what are your thoughts? Do you feel complete now that you have embarked upon your own task?
Complete is not quite the word I'd use for it.
And what word would you use?
Let me get back to you on that.
Very well. That being said, Amber, I will have to end up making a deposit very quickly. It shouldn't take too much time. But that being said, yes, Benji.
I'm sorry. I have a question. What do you know about Nosferatu?
Typically a secretive sort. They tend to be, well, if you need anything to be known, go to any gutter. And eventually you will end up finding something lurking in there. And it just waits for things to come down the drain. Because everybody's trying to flush something.
Alright.
They will oftentimes end up dealing in that form of information. If you can make it worth their while. However, you might want to be sure that the information that you seek is worthwhile. And I would also be remiss to end up saying that Nosferatu, well, in general terms, could give you the fight of your existence. I know plenty would hit harder than you, Benji. And you can never tell when they'll come. They tend to blind the eye towards themselves. Quite the adaptive force. That, and I know a few that make pets of rats and such things, but outside of that, in this city, I've only encountered two. Face to face. One was a previous coterie mate, the other his would-be sire.
Oh. Coterie mate. What happened to him?
You remember when I said I would perform the heavy lifting when it came down to dealing with Carlos and every other individual?
Yeah.
That is why. Because the weight of such things and misinterpreting the lessons had led to him falling down a very dark path. One that has cost him most of his soul. The very thing I fought against was the very thing that he ran right towards. I would consider it my greatest failure, if I had not set the record straight with his sire. It was a cruel lesson, but one that had to be taught.
Huh. Interesting. That's... Do you...
Do I what?
Never mind.
Speak your mind, Benji. You are one of mine, and I would know your mind as you would know mine.
Are they still alive?
Yes.
Oh.
Well, no, technically, but no more than you're alive. No, he simply removed his limbs, internal organs, and lower jaw, and handed what was left of the drained carcass back to his
Whoa.
sire, and made it very clear my intent.
Yeesh. Right.
Benji, do not get it confused. When I perform a terrible deed, it is for a purpose. Remember how I said the Nosferatu tend to share information?
Yeah.
I needed it very clear to them and to everyone else. If you go against me or mine, I am very much capable. There it needs to be a line, enough that others would be very careful not to cross. The sad truth of our existence hinges not only on being respected, but being feared. And I would rather commit one horrible atrocity in spectacle and make it very clear to everyone else than I am to end up repeating that spectacle in private, time again.
That's a good point.
It
I
is an evil, but it is the lesser of two.
gotta watch out for your own. I get it. I don't know. A couple nights ago, I think I saw a Nosferatu. When we were
You think
wrangling. Yeah. When we were wrangling up Emmanuel.
where were you? In which domain were you? I guess would be the more accurate term.
Just our luck, we're in Jameson's, so
So then, simply assume they have already told Jameson.
yeah.
It would be in their best interest to do so. If that is the case, the ball is in Jameson's court. Would he prescribe that we ended up stepping across domains? We can very much use that as an avenue. I'm sorry, a bit distracted. But, nevertheless, I know that for the time being, you are in a holding pattern, yes?
Yeah.
Fantastic, then Amber, we will deal with your plate next.
Okay.
We shall prepare ourselves to go for a hunt. Then you will have me meet your sire. I wish to know everything I can about this individual and try and get a better understanding of who I am dealing with. And in your worst case scenario, you don't have to worry about it.
Wait. Ember's sire? We're gonna go meet her? Or him? Or
It's only appropriate. Benji, you ended up coming from a different line, but I have already ended up meeting the person responsible for you. I am responsible for M. Amber is the only one who I have not such a person. And if Amber is wishing, if I understand their methods, then I need to know exactly what I am dealing with. And as I cannot just summon such an individual,
yeah, I just okay. I didn't know this was happening tonight, but I'll try
did
and
you
make
have
my
plans?
No. No.
Don't bother looking your best, Benji. I'm actually kind of counting on you being quite the opposite.
Oh. He just looks over to Amber and shrugs his shoulders. Alright. Look big.
How do I put it? He's as some of the roses are a bit of an egotist. Actually, no, a lot of an egotist. So, Benji, if he says something that pisses you off enough that you want to punch him in the face,
Do or don't.
I mean, I was gonna say recording it would be nice, but it's up to you.
Oh, okay. Well, quedas los dos.
Like on that one, just to be clear, it's not a matter of his nature as a kindred, all the kinds of things he does. It's just how he is as a being with a personality.
Perhaps you should give Benji a name.
Sanderson, Ashley
Sa-
Sanderson.
Okay. Sanderson.
Yeah.
Well,
Okay.
I have. Well, allow me to leave it another method. With Sanderson. To whom does Sanderson belong?
A character, that
I,
is a good question. Who does he belong to?
As far as his sire,
as far as what domain does he serve?
Amber, you would know that he is associated, not heavily, but does do business with Delgado.
He does business with Delgado. There's no heavy association.
Very well then. That lets me know exactly what we're dealing with. Okay. Is there any other moments or points on the agenda?
I mean, I should very quickly go check on Emmanuel to make sure that he hasn't you know, died in his stupor.
Good idea. Yeah.
So I'll go and check on him, and I'm gonna head down into the basement to check on Emmanuel, make sure that he's still alive.
Benji
Might check on
follows.
Carlos too while I'm down there.
And Benji follows.
Yep.
Alright. Benji follows.
I follow.
All right, and when you both enter down, you do see that Emmanuel is still kind of stupid, but he kind of looks a little bit dehydrated. He might need a little bit in the way of nourishment at some point. Carlos, let's see, what is Carlos's status right now? Let's look at him real quick. Carlos, what is going on with you? He's calm, just really kind of sitting there, waiting for someone to do something for him, with him. He does acknowledge you with a look when you do come down.
Yep. I would probably be exiting his view relatively quickly to go check on Emmanuel, and after the little check, he'll go and have a look at Carlos. He doesn't seem to be too. He seems to be all right. So should just
He
give him
is
a nod.
still kind of beat up from the last time you guys beat him up.
Oh yeah, but that's fine.
Didn't he die with a hole in his face?
Little flesh wound doesn't never hurt anyone.
Like, was embraced like that?
Please, I only blew out a chunk of his cheek and bottom jaw.
Isn't that forever?
Nope, not if he's healed quick enough.
Ah.
Yeah, you notice he hasn't really done a whole lot of that.
Amber is actually gonna stop at that and kind of Like, you're still wounded.
What do you mean I'm still wounded? Like, yeah. I mean, you can fix that?
Benji's gonna
You can fix that.
Benji's gonna go upstairs and get some water for Emmanuel.
Uh, yeah, you forget that I'm basically brand new. What do I do?
Will yourself healed. Think of it.
And he is going to roll a rouse check. Alright. Duly noted. His fangs do bear a little bit. And,
Good thing you stand up then.
and snarls just a bit. Oh, that was... I don't like that.
It's like it's not necessarily pleasant, but it's how one repairs themselves should they receive damage. So if someone decides to shoot you through the head, you might be able to patch up the hole.
What?
Hey, I can't tell you what's gonna happen to you. I can't see the future. But if it happens,
You can
that you
repair
get
getting
hurt,
shot through the head.
yeah, it's hard, but you can do it.
Right. Cool. Cool.
It's like, oh boy, I thought you would have at the very least tried something. You're not very imaginative, are you?
You know, I'm a security guard.
Were the security guard.
I still have all that training, right? That's not something that goes away. I'm still me, right?
Oh no, the training doesn't go away, most certainly. But the thing is that you need to start thinking outside the box.
That's not exactly my strong suit.
Well, good as time as any to learn then, huh?
You put a gun in my hands and I'm pretty good at it, but apparently not.
It's like, Carlos. On that one, it's not my place to teach you. You'll learn eventually. With that, once Benji is finished watering Emmanuel, she's gonna go upstairs, kind of chuckling to herself and shaking her head.
Carlos just kind of shakes his head and mumbles something under his breath.
Could I roll an awareness, a Wits plus awareness?
Go for
See
it.
if I pick that up on my way out.
Mm-hmm. Mumbled something. Not entirely sure what.
Just like she kind of just stops mid-step for a moment and then just shakes her head and keeps going.
Fair enough.
After Benji is done having Emmanuel drink water, he goes up to Carlos and kneels down to him. How you holding up?
Well, I guess as good as I can be. Very hungry. Some food would be nice.
I hear you.
When can I do that?
Well, it might be a stretch, but I'm thinking tonight.
Really?
Yeah. But here's the deal. You gotta have a hold on yourself.
I don't know if I can right now, man. It's
Do you wanna know
it's
what the
getting kind of
alternative is?
intense.
Do you wanna know the alternative right now? You
Uh,
drink some of my blood. That's the gist of it.
uh, What? I if I don't know how this works, so you, that makes no sense to me. But whatever.
It's like we're trying to fucking make you street legal or some shit. Look,
All right, street legal. All right.
you need to be of some degree of control to be out in the public, speaking, talking with the people, right? If we're gonna manage that, you need to not be thinking all about the blood and shit. All right, you need to have some reserve. So it's either you have that now and you commit to it and you come with us, or you sit down in this fucking basement and I come back and you get to drink from me. And I can assure you it's not gonna taste as nice.
Right.
But if you fuck
Cool.
up on the street, I will bust your ass.
I got it.
Okay. This is the first step. Blending in.
Blending in.
The masquerade.
I kind of look like shit.
Yeah, you do. You do. So we're gonna patch you up just real quick, and then I'm just gonna say you got your ass busted. And Benji just smiles. It's kind of shit-eating.
Yeah, that's and when he kind of grins right back at you, you do notice that there's like pieces of his jaw that are missing still.
God, you look like shit. All right.
I just said that.
Yeah, you did. All right, buddy. Benji, Benji unties Carlos from the pole, just kind of grabs him by the shoulder and leads him up the stairs.
All right, and so you lead him up the stairs.
Taking Carlos on a date.
That's weird, man. Come on.
What? We're taking the girls out for dinner too? It's a double date. Just consider it like that. Durian. Benji leans over Carlos's shoulders. What can this
Yes.
guy do?
What can he do? Security guard last we spoke.
Yeah. But I mean, like, what would your
You're
blood do for?
What would my blood do?
Yeah.
Are you sure you wish to know?
Well,
Because we're going to be running through a few gauntlets here.
well, first things first. Dinner. And if he's useless for it, he's useless.
I would rather him go in with a full tool set. Alright, Carlos, I suppose at this point I will, for a brief moment, try and teach you as though you were a child, Irving. That has yet to be proven. Very well.
Okay.
There are two things that can... First thing, I want you to look around. And I want you to try and read in detail. Try, for instance, he takes, let's say, a street map, right? And he unfolds it. And he refolds it, but inside out, in a very specific square. And he puts his finger underneath a street name, but he goes across the room. Can you read that? What street is that? I want you to focus. Focus your eyes. Think like a hawk. This is a minute detail. Something missed. Something people do not see.
Let's see.
Should almost.
Let's see if he sees it.
Now, well, the question here is do I see what I'm looking for is to see if he's developed any point of auspex.
You see his eyes narrow a little bit. He focuses in, and it's almost like you see his eyes zooming in on the detail that you see that you have pointed out. That's Military Road. I
Is
can
that
see that from
correct?
here. And you look at the map, and yes, it is. That is exactly where you pointed.
Do you believe a normal person can read that from this distance?
No, I had to really narrow in.
Yet you can. And to put this into perspective, that is that is huge. I once knew an individual who watched the television just to from across the room just to watch all the segments of tiny lights in the three colors, just to watch them individually flicker and fade. That would create an image.
And you see him kind of turn his head around and kind of look around the room, not looking at anything in particular in the room, but it looks as if he's listening to something. What? How?
That is one gift. Well,
You seem to be talking very loudly right now.
that is the gift of sight. One our clan shares. We are capable of perceiving things in great deal, or even beyond such. And it is a worthwhile bit. Take a moment to relax and bring it down, yourself down.
And you see him attempting to relax. He doesn't necessarily look like he's like super relaxed because he does still have that kind of predatory, hungry face on his face. But he kind of instinctually breathes in, calms himself, and you know the face when you have turned off your senses.
The other one is that of command.
Command.
Yes. Let us see if you know this one. Benji,
Hmm?
offer your jaw to Carlos.
My what?
Your jaw. Stick out your chin.
Alright.
Slap him, Carlos.
Sure. And he's going to make a dex or a strength brawl and see
Like a sissy girl, just like Amber.
Amber just slow turns to Yuri and that. She
And-
goes to say something. She's like, you know, I correct you.
and Carlos goes to lightly slap Benji across the face.
Okay. Now do this. Take your hand and just tell him forget.
Forget. And so, remind me again what the rolls are for that.
Oh, I guessed right twice. Nice.
Can I roll against to forget?
Yeah, you do have a resistance
it's
roll.
charisma here plus dominate versus wits plus resolve.
Alright.
And I'm going, even if it fails, I think I might be able to spot whether it worked or not. Or could have worked. Not bad, Benji. Not bad. Eh, okay.
Doesn't seem to stick.
But
Benji.
it's clear that it's there.
Benji feels a fuzziness in his brain. He narrows his eyes at Carlos. The fuck you doing to me? He turns
That
to Jurian.
is. It is a variation of the same thing Isabella teaches. His is an underdeveloped version, but it's the same one you ended up calling a boon for.
Is this what you can do? He says to Urian.
I can. What I am capable of is quite a bit more, but yes. Not in the same way you do. For instance, I cannot read in the detail that you do just yet. It is not something I developed. I developed a different line. I can speak to ghosts. I can see the ley lines of the world. I can see that which is not meant to be seen.
He just looks at you very confused.
I can see your soul. You don't have to ask if you have it. I know you. Because I can see it.
Okay.
Benji whispers in Carlos's ear, I see dead people.
God, that's fucking creepy.
Amber bursts into laughter.
You are not.
There is another.
You do not get to talk to me like that. I don't like Bruce Willis.
Amber starts laughing even harder. She's like, of all the things that you could possibly scared of, Bruce Willis is it.
Not scared of. He's just. I don't like him.
Amber starts rolling on the floor, laughing, almost cackling. She finds this exceptionally amusing.
Fucking
At
bitch.
this point, I think the laughter would have drawn M out of her room,
Mm,
and the mentioning of Bruce Willis, mayhaps.
mm-hmm.
The last that is of our clan is a secret and one that I would never demonstrate openly. However, M has seen it in action. She can tell you it is not something to be used openly.
She blinks, kind of slowly, processing. Oh, yeah, no, don't mess with Urian. Cause no, don't do it.
And would you quickly roll me a rouse check?
Yeah, for sure. Oh heavens.
Oh, I was hoping we got the full set.
That hunger deep in your belly is viciously attacking the underside of your ribs, and it is begging you to eat.
M gasps sharply and holds her hand to her stomach, and she kind of cringes for a moment.
Benji was at first very ecstatic to see him, but the moment he saw her flinch, he was like, oh, whoa, hey. He comes over to her, trying to comfort her. Hey, you all right? You doing all right?
Well, Benji is distracted, and I'm pretty sure Amber is as well. Urian will take a quick moment to pull Carlos aside and let them have their.
All right.
Hey.
I'm, and she can just feel the gnawing at her ribs. She just looks up at Benji, trying with all her might not to rip everything to shreds. I am really hungry. I need something now.
Yeah. We're going tonight. You told me,
Finally.
yeah. You told me what you needed. I have an
Yeah.
idea. I've seen some places around town. I got an idea. Hopefully, we can find something that'll fit Amber too. But
Well,
you're the priority here.
thank you.
Anytime.
Let's get going. And she stumbles forward, trying to get to the entrance.
Urian speaks with Carlos for a very brief moment. Carlos, I do not wish for you to breathe a word of this. If I find out you do in fact speak of this, then I will consider that a failure on your first trial.
About the things you were just
What
showing
I
me
am
right now.
about to tell you, because if the wrong person knows that you know, it is death sentence.
Oh. Then is it?
Are you familiar with what magic truly is?
Um. I. Magic?
Yes.
Uh.
To put it succinctly, Carl, you're a wizard, Carlos.
I'm fucking Harry Potter?
Who?
Wait, you don't know who Harry Potter is?
No.
You have books up there, but you don't have Harry Potter.
No. But I will say this. If you prove to me that you're not going to simply run off, prove to me loyalty, and you've proved to Benji that you are worth keeping around, let me know I have misjudged your ability as kindred, and I will tutor you in such things and such understandings. For now, your eyes and your ability to remove that which has just come to mind are the beginning tools. The others will be more taxing, but for now, that will do. A simple caution. When you focus your senses, do so for a short period of time. Loud noises, bright lights are amplified. So a sudden shock becomes as deafening as a heart attack.
Right. No wonder it sounded like you were shouting at me when you were barely talking over rooms volume.
Yes. Out of curiosity, with that reaction, would that give me a sense of how well attuned he is in all specs?
You would know that he is far too young to really have developed it very far.
I'm just wondering if
He doesn't
on a
seem to have a
mechanical
natural knack, but he definitely has it in him.
We'll experiment as we go. But for now, these are your two tools. If you say something that you shouldn't have, forget. If you've shown somebody or said something you shouldn't have, forget. Use your senses to pick your moments. And if you can prove this, if you can prove that level of loyalty, I will show you more. You're on a very precarious position, Carlos. I appreciate that. But you're also on path to something far greater than you could have imagined.
That's a lot to take in.
It has been. Now you understand why I didn't let you off the chain. Run about to figure it out on your own.
Yeah.
You'll hate me for it. That is fine. if I can make you into a kindred that will survive its first 5 years, it will have been worth it.
All right. What do I tell Julie?
Your daughter, yes.
Yeah.
You tell her nothing for now. For now it is, how you doing, kiddo? You appreciate the fact that you are going to be working days. You are going to be away. And if you prove to be successful tonight, I will supply you with a new job. One that will start you off slow, but keep her safe. For the next 3 years, Carlos, you can continue being a father. Your job at that point is to build a nest egg. One that will get her on her feet for when she grows to be a young adult.
You're not gonna hurt her, are you?
I don't want to. But you know I will if I must. So the fact that I am going out of my way to show you how to avoid that should speak volumes of my character.
All right. Seems like a deal.
Think of it this way. You're dying of cancer, but you have the ability to still walk, talk, and function. You know your time is limited with her. You have enough time to be able to fake still being alive. You have enough time to be able to put something aside for her. And at least give her the head start in life you wish you could have when you were alive. Plus, you don't have to end up paying for your own food bills anymore.
I suppose that's a plus.
That's the spirit. Come, we'll go hunting and try and impress me tonight, Carlos. If you can do that, if you can learn to read the room with those senses, if you can learn to control the situation with your abilities, and show me what a security guard can truly do, just maybe, I have an assignment for yourself. Small, but one that will start you your way.
All right. Cool. And so he walks with you to your vehicle.
Of course, I check it and I look over it, and I'm explaining it to Carlos that brake lines being cut, bombs and trackers being placed. These are the things that are normal.
You
during
have those kinds of
nights.
enemies?
I have the kinds of enemies that would bury me in concrete and throw me in the sea while still very conscious of the situation.
Ooh.
As he's doing this, Benji pulls a handkerchief, the handkerchief he has used before, out of his pocket, hands it over to Carlos. Wear this.
What? Over what? Over my mouth? What?
In case
Jaws,
you need to hide your face.
jaws dripping, bruh. It don't look normal.
Right.
If you successfully feed tonight, you may have to do it several times. This should be as normal as breathing by the end of the year. So, who's traveling with me and who is traveling with Amber? As I'm pretty sure she would care to take her own vehicle.
Benji just looks over to M. Who would you prefer to ride with?
Well, I thought I was gonna go with you, but since we're all being indecisive, I'm confused now, but I just want to go.
All right, cool. I'm gonna ride with Carlos, and I guess you're coming with.
Okay.
I shall follow along.
All right. So where is the group headed?
At this point, it is hunting. I am going out of my way to use contacts to try and locate where potential indiscretions of feeding may have occurred, or where potential thin bloods may have arrived. While I end up doing this, I am also trying to scout out potential kind for Carlos. But
Benji,
first and foremost, we need M-Fed.
Benji riding in the vehicle with Urian is going to assist.
Okay. So, spotting kindred is a remarkably hard roll without any supernatural inclinations. How do you plan to do this?
Well, the first thing is I am trying to track location where they most likely would be.
Okay.
So that would be an investigation, I imagine, and I am definitely tapping into Lane for that.
Yes, investigation plus lane would give you an idea. Go ahead and do that as a wits or resolve, your choice.
Wits or resolve? We'll do resolve. Investigation resolve plus Lane.
Give you an idea of what's most likely in your domain. Now, are you planning on going outside your domain, or just staying in your domain?
Always inside. My domain is specifically built for this. 4 successes.
You know, your domain is fairly small, and you know that that it's not necessarily a large domain, but you do know that it does have a significant populace of people because it is a residential area that is also butted up against a mall. And so you would know that the mall is a pretty decent hotspot for people, especially during mall hours, but not necessarily after. Anything after hours, you would know that that since it is residential, there are plenty of people who are in their homes, and it's mostly apartment complexes. So it would really just be you also have a couple of bars on your domain. They're not heavily populated because they're not the big hotspots in town,
No, I imagine not.
but they're not as run down as a dive, but they're not as ritzy as what's going on downtown.
No, I imagine not. I am going to head to the bar as well. First, I'm going to end up making a quick stop. I'm going to be parking a block away, and I'm not sure if you want to fast forward this or not, but using Auspex to double check that I am not being followed since the unseen, I am going to bring that 3,000 in cash, which is 1,000 more than what was agreed upon by Doc.
That's true. That's true. And so you have that in your vehicle at this moment, is what you said?
I bring my books, I bring my hair, bring the cash. I was intending to dump the cash early.
Okay. Give me a high or low.
Hi.
Roll it. Oh, I'll roll it. Never mind. You get in contact with Doc, but you keep landing her voicemail. For whatever reason, she's not picking up right now.
I am going to drop by her location. And I will knock. Like I said, I'm keeping at least a block away. I'm not giving up the exact location to the other kindred.
Okay. And you pull up to the door and you give it a knock. It takes quite a moment for her to answer the door, but uh, but she does.
Good evening, Doc.
Urian, Mr. Doyle.
Urian, please. I never end up requesting for you to use Mister. He pulls the duffel bag aside and offers it to her.
And she does the same. She does eyeball to see if there's other people around to make sure that she's not being seen here. This is everything?
And the signing bonus. I believe 3,000 should more than cover the expenses.
You're too kind.
You appear to be busy.
Very, very busy tonight.
Is there something I can help you with?
I'll have to think about it. I am busy. I'm sorry I didn't answer your call.
I'm going to insight check that.
Go for it.
Does she appear to be under duress? Is my big thing.
Okay. Since you know her pretty well, I'll put it at a difficulty 2.
Okay.
She seems busy. Not under duress, just busy.
So probably just came out of surgery or was prepping for somebody to come into surgery kind of thing.
Yeah, you kind of caught her off guard.
Alright. Well then, I will not keep you.
I appreciate it.
No worries.
I look forward to Mass. I gotta get back.
He bows deeply and takes a step back, turns, and starts to walk back to the door, or back to the van. Without a word, he just starts driving, preparing to drop by one of the bars.
Perfect.
Well, it seems like a good night to have drinks. But now that he's away, let's see what the children have to say.
So are we at the bar then, or not?
Unless you have something unless you have some place to stop before that.
No.
Nope.
To the bar it should be.
Really quick,
Mm-hmm.
if I might make a suggestion.
I'm listening.
Men's gay bar. That's really specific, I know. Not my scene. But trust me on this one.
They have bars for gays now?
Yeah.
Why would you want to go to a bar where you're just staring at one another?
God damn it.
What? I don't understand. What? Are you old?
Alright.
Presume it is either I am old or I am just... what's the term, Benji? Fucking with you?
Oh God.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay.
Yeah.
He looks back to you, Benji. Is this guy fucking old? You don't look it. You look like you're 12, dude.
Bro, we're vampires. You know the TV shows? Hundreds of years old, still looks like fucking teenager? Yeah. Alright, think Anne Reese, Lestat. Okay?
Wait, am I Lestat?
No. Benji, face palms.
Should be glad
And-
Amber can't hear this, otherwise you wish you were Lestat.
Immediately looking to M. And now you understand why it is I hate unplanned embraces.
She just kind of glares and holds back a snarl. looking at everybody.
All of them look pretty tasty.
Alright, who are we starting with? And are we killing anyone tonight? I just need to get that one out of the way.
Yeah, let's not do that. That's the last thing.
You say that now, but let me make it very clear. Sometimes you just kind of have to anticipate that that's what's going to happen.
Well, let's do everything that we can to prevent it. I don't. That's a usual thing. Is that something that usually happens?
Well, usually I don't embrace after feeding, but you're here now.
Accidents happen. Okay.
Oh, you're no accident.
You're like a happy bad decision. Benji just pats his shoulder.
Happy bad decision.
Yeah.
Cool.
There are worse ways, I can assure you. That being said, he pulls up the whatever bar that Benji is suggesting. Okay, this will be good enough, I suppose.
Going through the domain of the sanctuary, you notice that there's probably only one that is in any way remotely close to a gay bar, and it's not very well populated.
I wouldn't imagine, but it is populated, and we are a group of 5.
Yes.
So, well, who would like to take the wheel on this one? I regret to inform I am in no condition to be going inside there.
I guess it's me. Em,
Well.
you ready?
I've been ready for a minute. Yeah.
And please don't strain yourself further. If need be, let Amber and Benji handle it. I would do the same for them if you were the one in better condition.
I appreciate the advice, Syrian, but I can handle this. And
Then
she
go prove
turns
it.
to get out.
He smiles a bit. He waits for them all to leave, and he starts to pull it off to the side, and maybe starts to walk into the alleyways near the bar, particularly looking for places that would be really good feeding, away from people, in the shadows, places that no one would notice or probably would try and ambush another person. Maybe even pretending to be a regular person.
Yep. So you look for spots. You do find that the back of the place has the one light over the dumpster, but that's really about it.
Fantastic.
And it's pretty dark. It's nighttime. It's well past 10 o'clock.
Well, let us hope that they find something juicy and delicious. He grips hold and he realizes that he is gripping so hard he's almost threatening to strip tendons off the bone, trying to keep in control. He doesn't want to let them know just how hungry he is.
Benji, and Amber. You all go into the establishment, yes?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So, what exactly are we looking for? Are we
Right
looking
off.
for someone in specific? Are we looking for someone not specific?
I think M would stick really close to Benji. Uh, he knows a bit, and he knows what she needs,
Mm,
so he can handle this, and I can handle this.
Benji is looking for anyone who looks kinky
hmm.
right off the bat.
Then, if you're kind of perusing the bar as a pair, then I would like you both, or one of you, to make a manipulation plus subterfuge +1.
That's a whopping 3 from my base without the +1. What does M have?
Let me see real quick. So, manipulation, and what was it?
Subterfuge.
So, manipulation is 2, subterfuge, none, so a whopping 2.
I mean,
Alright.
I could be of assistance.
But I have a
if you
really
would
high
like.
insight. I don't know if that helps.
You would also get +2 as well because Carlos and Amber, if you're wanting to divulge to them that you're looking for someone specific, they would be able to assist you.
Alright, Benji just kind of huddles everyone together. It's like, alright. So my plan with them is that we're gonna be looking for a cuckold. Deadass. Okay?
Amber kind of covers her mouth to stifle a little noise, and she's like, "Wait, really?"
Look for, yes. Look for a
Okay.
kinky person. Look for anyone who looks like they're like wearing leather, even has like a collar. I don't know. Something like that. They always got like some fetishy gear.
It's like,
You know you're playing a stereotype, right?
M kind of
Carlos
glares at
said.
Carlos and Amber. This is serious. This
Like-
is business, and it needs to be clean.
To be
It's like-
fair, stereotypes work.
Amber's like, "Oh no, I completely get it. It's just not what I was expecting to hear. That's all." But no, if that's what you're looking for, we can get you that.
Then Benji, you can make your manipulation plus subterfuge at a +3. And you're looking, and you're at a gay bar, so you're looking specifically for a man in this regard.
A man, or maybe a pair of men who seem like they're into orgies, group sex, having someone watching their partner get fucked. Just someone who looks kinky. People who look kinky.
Okay. Since we're going for something specific, that does increase the difficulty by 1, and the the domain is a difficulty 4 as a base. Do I have that correct, Derek?
Sorry, I was focusing on something else at that moment. What was the question?
What is the base difficulty for feeding in your domain? I don't remember.
The base difficulty.
Mm-hmm.
So the way I typically look at it, if we end up going to the domain, it's 3+. Because
plus.
chase is 4.
Okay.
So remember, it's 1 dot is 6, 2 dots is 5, 3 dots is 4, and 5 dots is a 2+. But that's scavenging, right? Whereas this is scene-based feeding, so it's going through the motions. If it was all resolved in one die, you'd probably use chase. But here it's a lot easier to pick and choose.
Okay.
Not a large area domain, but very well stocked.
Yes. So yeah, four successes will get you what you're specifically looking for because you are being specific about the person that you're looking for, as well as your chase gives you incredible freedom for feeding. So you do find this person.
Oh, thank God.
They are pretty enthusiastic, and they are looking forward to what you have in store for them. Do you and where exactly are you taking them?
Oh, we're gonna go to pretty nearby place. Hey, buddy, what's your name?
Javier.
Javier. You got any friends? You got any kinky friends going? Anyone free tonight?
I'm kind of by myself tonight, man.
You should call them up.
They didn't want to come when I asked them to drinks, okay?
Hmm, that's a bummer.
I'm here by myself, just kind of looking for a party.
I hear ya. I hear ya.
You got a
Okay.
party?
Do I? All right. Let's take this outside. Maybe grab some drinks for the road.
Ooh, they don't take to-go cups here, my dude.
But they do take shots.
You buying?
You bet.
And so you fork over the little bit of cash to down some shots. Now, are you taking a shot?
No.
He just kind
It's,
of this person kind of eyes you up and down, but thinks it's a little weird that you're at a bar not having drinks.
Benji just waves it off. He's like, I actually drink a lot before we go. Pre-gaming, you know how it is. I don't want to wake up too fucked.
All
He
right.
just does
all
that look at this guy back at him.
right. Nah, I got you, boo.
Cool. I hope you don't mind. I'm gonna be bringing my girl.
Oh,
Cool,
that's
man.
what yeah, okay. All right. And so you walk him back to your car, back to the alley, back where Urian is. Where are we going?
Benji walks him back to his. Is there like a hotel nearby, motel?
High or low?
We'll go high.
There is one across the street. A little down a little ways, but it's across the street.
All right. You good? You good to come with down there? I can cover it.
Sure. I mean, you don't want to. You don't want to go home.
Nah,
I
it's a
get
lot
you.
funner out on the streets if you get what I mean.
All right. All right. And he follows you.
Okay. As they're walking out, Benji passes a look to M that is in equal parts screaming, just internal screaming, as well as being like, I got him, let's go.
Carlos is following
Give
behind you, by the way.
nice. Wait,
All
should
right.
he come? Is he okay to come?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, smiles and she looks not as sweet as usual. The beast is just right there, and she's trying her hardest. I'm excited. Let's go.
For sure.
All right. And Amber, what are you doing? Are you following along?
Yeah, I'm gonna follow Benji, and I'm see if I can't quietly slip Benji some cash for the hotel.
Okay. Do you want to do this surreptitiously? Like you're like it looks like you're just passing him by, or you're just are you just gonna like hand him the cash in his hand?
I'll just hand him the cash in his hand. There's no reason to be too upfront about it.
You notice that the person that he has with him does have his eyes linger on you for a minute. Man, you're rolling with that chick?
That's why I'm telling you. Call your friends. We got quite the crowd. You know she's a model.
Really?
Yeah.
Huh.
Pass them the word.
Yeah.
They're missing out.
All right.
I'm gonna. Can I persuade?
Yeah. Go ahead and make a charisma persuasion.
How did I get into organizing an orgy?
That was supposed to be my shtick.
So yeah, he does pull out his phone and start giving some people a text, and he's waiting to hear back.
All right. So, we're walking to.
You walk to the hotel. You
Be
do
the man at the front desk.
Mhm.
One night, please. Um, we'll just go with one king side bed. He gives Amber a quick look, a nod of approval, like.
okay. And so all of you, including Carlos, minus Urian, are at this hotel, and you take him into the room, and whoever wants to participate may, because he doesn't seem to mind, and you can feed on him.
Big question.
Whoever does want to.
Do his friends actually come?
By the time you're getting down and heavy with it, you don't get an answer.
Their loss.
Benji does not feed. Not now. He reserved this instance for M.
Amber is also not feeding at the time. No, instead that once they really get into it, Amber is probably going to go outside to notify Urian of the going.
Urian does not have a cell phone, so you'd have to go back to the bar.
Oh, sorry. Benji basically holds Carlos outside the door.
Okay.
Has him wait out there.
Carlos is standing watch. And so the two of you have your fun time, and M, I would like you to make a frenzy check.
Mm-hmm.
If
And
you're
this
sinking
is
your
why Benji's watching.
if you're sinking your fangs into this man, it is going to be difficulty 4.
Oh, fuck.
Oh, heavens. Okay. Okay. So, for the willpower that's in there, it's a 4?
Your willpower, whatever isn't spent, and then
Oh.
because when you hit the frenzy button, and then your humanity total,
Mm-hmm.
that is the humanity quantifier, and then no modifiers after that.
Okay.
Well, no, one modifier because Benji is in the room controlling the situation.
And then modifiers is
1,
1. Got it.
because Benji's there to assist you.
But,
You sink your fangs in, and he just tastes delicious, and so you start to drink, and you start to drink deep.
I can only imagine that she's pinned him down and is almost using all of her teeth in her mouth to just sink her teeth into this flesh.
Mm-hmm. You have opened up that vein, and you are drinking down very heavily. Benji, what do you do?
Benji moderates the situation, makes sure she doesn't get farther than 2 dots before he rips her off of this guy.
Okay. I would like you to make a second frenzy check. This time, you have reduced your hunger by 2, and so the difficulty has gone down to 3.
Mm-hmm. Let me. Isn't it? There we go. Okay.
After you've had some to drink, your beast quiets down a bit, and you're able to focus your brain, and you do, with Benji's help, he does lift you off,
Mm-hmm.
and you're able to close the wounds just as you're letting go. But it does take Benji to kind of pull you away once you realize that you have had enough.
Mm-hmm.
And so
I
this
think. Oh, sorry.
well, the person that you have drank from is now kind of dazed, very very much in the throes of ecstasy, and is just basking in it right now. It'll take a little while for the headache that comes from blood loss to kick in.
Benji,
Oh, sorry.
oh, you're good. Go ahead. You've been waiting to talk.
Oh, okay. Um, I'm guessing M probably has blood on her face, and
Yeah.
she smears some on her fingers. And is like Benji holding on to her and stuff like that?
Yeah, this is directly after he's pulled you away.
I
Can
imagine
she
they're
like
both basically on the ground.
can she like smear blood on his face?
Can if you want to.
Yeah, she's just gonna do that. And just kind of giggle.
I have a compulsion.
You have a compulsion that you want to lick up that blood as much as possible. You
I-
start wiping it off of your face and start licking your thumb. You start licking it off of Eb's fingers. You are getting close enough that you want to lick it off of her face.
Oh.
Good. Well, that was quick.
All right. Well, shipping aside,
Do you let it happen, Eb?
Giggling, she's happy.
oh,
It's not enough to sate any hunger, Benji, but you have tasted some of the person that you just had a very very fun time with.
yeah. Benji just stares into M's eyes for a long, long minute before finally coming to back into his normal self. Right.
Thanks for the help, friend. I appreciate it.
Yeah. Wow. This guy, right. And Benji gets up very awkwardly. He goes over to this man. He leans over him. He checks to see if this guy still has like some degree of consciousness that he can have a nominal conversation with.
He's breathing heavy. He's a little bit dazed, but he's breathing heavy. He's had a fun time, and he is going to take a minute in order to become coherent again. But after a moment, he does. And when what you do taste on his blood isn't necessarily sticking with you all that hard. It does taste like the throes of sex, but it's not anything that sticks very heavy.
Hmm.
Fleeting, much like the moment.
Hmm. She.
Benji,
Oh, sorry.
really quick, Benji just whispers in this guy's ear, if you want any more of that, you'll know where to find me. La Medianoche, north part of town. And he just gives him a light pat on his cheek. Returns to M.
M kind of walks towards the man, dips her finger in the blood, and just leaves a little mark on his face just for fun. And just giggles. And oh, are you ready to go then, Benji?
Yes, ma'am. I've made the evening.
And the two of you exit the room with Carlos in tow.
Exchange awkward looks as we all close the door and leave.
Because he just overheard all of that.
Benji wiping a little more blood off his face and don't look the other way.
I'm not judging you, man. Come on.
No.
Amber, you went back to the bar to go talk to Urian.
Yes, I did go back to the bar to go talk to Urian, which is a real shame because some of the things that would have come out of Amber's mouth had she had been there.
Would you make your way back to the bar? And Urian, did you tell everyone where you would be?
They know I'll be in the area. I am listening for screaming, roll, and screw-ups. So if I have not heard anything, I have to assume that things went well.
You have not heard anything. You have really only heard the bar noises inside.
Yep. And no one has tried to accost me, which I guess is a shame. You know, this is such an opportune place to feed, and it is so difficult to tell the difference between kind and kindred.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, I am using myself as bait.
I want a composure subterfuge roll from you then.
Very well.
You do well. You look like bait. You do not. You look a little too prepared. You feel that you are sufficiently bait-looking enough. You're just not sure if you're drawing the right attention just yet.
Well, I'm about to find out, I'm sure. After all, small man, nice bowl cut hair,
Mm-hmm.
blonde, petite, tight like and smooth like a lozenge.
Mm-hmm.
In this particular bar,
Mm-hmm.
what could possibly go wrong?
What could possibly go wrong?
Quit your stickering, Spectre.
I have mute for a reason.
Just as you feel like you probably stand out enough in order to draw someone's attention, Amber does find you.
I pay her absolutely no mind. At least not right now, while I wait.
Amber, what do you do?
Amber will pass Urian a look. Suppose it says that somewhat says mission accomplished before moving a little ways away so that Urian can keep up his facade without her being there.
Well, at this point, I go ahead.
Eventually, someone does come out of the bar. Looks like one of the barbacks coming out for a smoke.
The fact that he's smoking, is he clearly breathing?
Make me a wits awareness.
And I have +1 when it comes down to kindred, I believe.
It would not apply. Looks human.
Hmm,
Looks like he's taking real big drags from that cigarette.
I am leaving that alone as much as I want to.
Come
Definitely use
on.
it.
He's tasty looking.
Yes, and the second that I sink my fangs into him, you take over.
You know you wanna, though.
Yes, but not on him.
Who then? Amber? She's just right there. She made herself quite aware that she knows where you are and that you know where she is. She's a pretty little thing. I bet she tastes real nice.
I can assure you she does. I still remember. Now, that being said, I am waiting for blood. Looking, sort of hunting. Trying not to pull the trigger on the I must do. Right now I am needing someone to cross the line.
High or
But
low?
hi.
You hear a bit of a noise. Like garbage stirring.
I go to check.
And when you go to check the trash, you see that there is a rat that scampers off.
A census unseen.
You look around and open your senses. You don't see anyone immediately, not in this alleyway.
I take a quick peek inside the dumpster before following the rat.
If you take a peek in the dumpster, the rat's gonna get away.
I don't have enough animalism to know the difference. I guess I am. Oof. Have I heard any? No, I'm going to check inside the dumpster.
Okay.
I know I should follow the rat, but I gotta check inside the dumpster because it might be just running away from something hiding.
You check inside the dumpster. You kind of stir it around a little bit, kind of looking with with your keyed sight, and there's nothing in there.
Alright, I try and go. I know that I've lost the rat, but I'm going to try and chase after or follow it along anyway.
Okay. Make a wit survival.
That is straight wits. Lane wouldn't apply here.
Nope.
One success, there's a start, right? That's good enough.
There was a small trail of trash as it was running away, but as soon as the trash trail rounds the corner, there's nothing left to track.
Very well, I will follow down the alley a little bit more. I am using Sense the Unseen. I am watching about. I'm more concerned about getting jumped right now. But
You follow down the alleyway. You come back to the front of the bar, and nothing. You come to the front of the bar and there's nothing there.
damn it. No better than this. You're getting sloppy and you're getting desperate. Stop it. Think. Okay. There's nothing here. There's no one outside. Anyone who would be hunting in the inside would have already come out by now. Would have left when the others came in. Did they at least get Carlos to feed? Maybe. Maybe not. Not sure. All did together. Starts to walk towards the van. Checks it, sights the unseen, looking about, trying to end up feeling it, having his fangs wanting to come out. He needs to feed, but he is like a man in a raft in the middle of the ocean, water everywhere, and nothing to drink.
Can go back to Amber.
Stop it.
You know you wanna.
I do. I wish to end up splitting her open and swimming in the remains. I wish to bite into the heart and drink of it directly. I want to eat Amber. I wish to drink down the whole of M. I wish to overcome Benji and rip his head and completely sever it and drink from the body in a fridge fighting. I want these things, but I deny myself these things because that is not what I am.
That's exactly
not
what
change
you
that.
are.
You will not change that, Urian Doyle. You will not change that. They are mine, and I will not throw away what is mine.
But I will ruin everything that's yours. Just you wait. What do you do next?
He goes to the van. He drives it out in the open, after checking it, he drives it out in the open, just waiting for the others to return from their feed to wonder what Carlos has been doing, what they all end up doing, that they all have fed. Please tell me that they're at least that competent.
So what do you want to do next?
Benji returns to the vehicle with M in tow. Does he see Amber there as well?
Yeah, Amber, what had you been doing this whole time?
So whilst Urian was going around, she kind of moved off back to the bar because she's pretty sure that after she left that Carlos didn't take any of M's snacks, so he's still going to be hungry. And she's also aware she also saw Urian, and she's not sure if Urian's had any success. And she did say that she was going to look for something that she could that she could use to feed him. And that's exactly what she's doing at the moment. She's letting her eyes run over everyone.
Are you using something specific?
Nope, just looking with my peepers.
Alright. So, because you don't have a supernatural inclination to be able to determine the kindred nature of a person, if you're looking inside the bar, then that would be another roll. Otherwise, you would see exactly what Urian saw outside.
Yeah, no, it's inside the bar.
Okay. Then, because you're looking for kindred specific, this is a difficulty 7. Wits plus awareness.
Oh, I not see myself beating that at all, but
Crits happen.
yeah, crits happen, and to help this, I think I may need to rouse the blood
Okay.
to blood surge. So I'm gonna roll the rouse check for that and get my plus 1 to the die pool and hope that I pull something out of my butt.
Mm-hmm.
That's gonna make me hungrier.
Mm-hmm.
And now,
Remember, the loss of blood on a rouse check happens after the check.
Yep.
Yeah.
After the roll.
actually, let me fix that real quick, just to make sure that
Yep.
I'm doing this correctly. And I get a +1 for the blood surge. And no,
Mm-mm.
not at all.
No, that's tricky. It's tricky finding another kindred amongst kind.
That would be a crit fail, wouldn't it?
That would actually be a crit fail. So let's roll you a compulsion.
Oh boy, compulsion! Yay!
No matter what,
Hunger!
no matter what it is, that hunger that came up as a result of your blood surge, it is all that you think about right now. That empty pit in your stomach needs to be filled. And it's desperate for it at this point. You are at a -2 for anything that does not involve you getting fed.
Okay. Well, I'm already here. Let's see if I can find tasty pretty lady to sate some hunger on. I'm already looking around.
You said you're looking for a woman?
I suppose if this is a male-only gay bar, then there wouldn't be any in here.
That's true.
Yep. So Amber is gonna exit the bar. She now seems a bit pissed as she
I mean, there are a couple girls here, but it's about finding the opportunity. So go ahead and roll me. What? How do you intend to draw them in?
I'm gonna be exceptionally sweet. Basically, attempt to honeypot this by being like if they were of the right kind, basically being the perfect specimen to maybe have a bit of fun with.
Okay. That would be a manipulation per subterfuge.
Manipulation subterfuge. Do you think my my feign innocence would apply as a specialty here?
If that is the route you're going for, then yes.
Yeah, I'm gonna go.
You're gonna be a sweet little rosy-cheeked
Sweet little thing.
lesbian today.
Yep, that's what I'm doing. Oof.
Actually,
Thinking.
no. Yep, it would
Yeah?
be a difficulty 4 because base difficulty is 3.
Then I will. Yeah, I thought I was gonna willpower anyway, so I will go ahead and do that because that is not good.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna re-roll those 3 normal dice and get 2 more successes off it.
Nice.
So that'll be 5.
Yeah, you successfully are able to draw the person of your choosing wherever it is that you feel that you have the opportunity to feed, and you are able to successfully feed onto them. Are you taking 1 or 2 or more?
I'm just gonna take 1. To go more than 1, I'd have to kill them, and I don't like doing that. So I'm just gonna take the 1.
Okay.
Just a sip, make it nice and sweet and throw them into ecstasy.
Do you have Lingering Kiss?
I do have Lingering Kiss.
Are you choosing to use it this time?
I don't think I need to.
Okay. Good to know. So, you have successfully fulfilled your compulsion. You are good to do whatever it is you please now.
Yeah. Amber does not feel particularly good about that. She never likes feeling like the beast has anything more than a single one up on her. That's like a 4-up, and she hates it. So she,
For all intents and purposes, that's you being compulsed, not the beast.
yeah.
Yeah, you wouldn't even be aware that it's the beast forcing a compulsion.
Okay.
You just
Well,
think that's natural.
in that case, she just doesn't feel good that she let her hunger get a little bit more, a bit better of her
Mm.
in that case, and with very little to show for it. Feels as if it was a little bit of a waste. But hey, at silver lining, she got to feed off a cute girl, so that's nice at the very end. But no, she's gonna head back out to the skyline and meet up with Urian and the others in the van, because now, as far as Amber's aware, Carlos hasn't fed. So
And Benji, you're bringing Carlos back?
Um, as of right now, yeah, and he's approaching the vehicle, he's getting into a conversation with Carlos first and foremost.
Mm.
So he's starting to see kind of a rhythm in this, at least. You gotta start. You gotta pretend you're not a predator. Pretend you're just a person out for a good night, um,
Right.
a gig. You know,
Yeah.
you got you gotta imply that they want this, not you. They do. There's a lot of ways you can do that.
Right. I am not exactly the best smooth talker. I am,
You're gonna have to learn, bud.
oh, I am not great at that. Well, what, well, I don't even know the first thing about going about doing any of this, so.
Well, let's start with this. You see things, right?
Uh, yeah, it's like I have a zoom on my eyes. I don't know
Good.
why that is, but I do.
All right. And you can hear things, right?
Yeah?
See, hear, and smell. These are all things that you can use to try and find something of interest, something of intrigue for you. What I want you to try and do is you're hungry, right?
Yeah.
I want you to think about what you want to eat. It's pulsing. Benji holds out his wrist, shows Carlos's vein. Inside, you can hear, hopefully, you can hear the beating of a living person's heart, and the blood coursing through them.
Okay. It doesn't seem like it's hard to find people. There's plenty of
No.
people here.
Sometimes they can be hard to find. Sometimes people are hidden. He just gives Carlos a nudge. Give it a shot. Give it a shot. See if you can find someone outside. It isn't us.
Okay. And he goes to cover his face with that handkerchief that you gave him because he knows he looks like shit right now. Or had already done so. Um, and kind of does a walk around the bar. Do you follow him or do you just let him go?
Yeah. Benji decides to follow him. He looks over to M, really quick first. Would you be good to check on Urian?
Oh, yeah, that would be a good idea. Do you know where he's at?
He wasn't looking so good. He said he'd stay back by the van, but I gotta make sure this idiot doesn't really fuck things up.
Yeah, for sure. I'll go check on him.
Thanks.
Yeah, thank you. And she hurries off as fast as she can.
Urian is in the van right now. He's hanging onto the steering wheel, white-knuckled, trying to be patient. He's supposed to look after this group. He has to be sure that they all ended up coming back fed. There's very little he can do, and he knows full well he is a risk in amongst populated areas. Need to keep to the shadows. Go back to basics. Reduce the chance of running into individuals. Why did you allow yourself to hunger like this? He reminds himself, because he has been trying to put himself more amongst the kind. Needs to feed for Black Mass, certainly. He needs to feed. That is the truth of it. What does he have? Maybe 2. He's really lucky 3 more nights before he torpors himself. He knows that pain. Knows it's coming. And that's if he's lucky. There's a high chance that he might not wake after tonight if he does not feed. He knows this. All he can do is grip to this fucking steering wheel.
Quickly opens the door. Do I really need to insight anything to see how he's feeling and stuff?
I'm sure he would try to hide it. He would be more surprised at your arrival, but I think he is trying to hide the indignity of his situation.
I would say that Urian, that's a manipulation subterfuge, and M, that's an insight.
Would it be more of a composure?
Composure,
Not that I changed
yes.
the dice pool, but this would probably be more of a composure than a manipulation. I'm not trying to change their perspective, I'm trying to hide my own.
Right. Go ahead and go use composure then. And then M, do a wits and insights. If you have any specialties in insight, use that. And then also a +1 because it's obvious.
Yeah.
Okay. And then for the specials for insight, she can look into people's desires.
It is plain as day on his face that he is hungry AF.
She quickly gets into the car and closes the door. She puts her hands out to kind of touch his shoulder and arm. Urian, I know I was nastier earlier, but you always look out for me. Is there something I can do for you?
Damned if I do, damned if I don't. Isn't that the correct term? And there is so much you can do, but I am not willing to ask it just yet. The night is not over, and you have just fed. You are still recovering. I would not put you in that state.
But I am still capable, Urian.
I have
And
never doubted that for a moment. And if
I
I
am
ever had, I would not send you out.
I am capable in helping you right now. I don't care if you wouldn't ask this of me. If you need it, as a part of this coterie, will help you as much as I will help the others. And you know that.
He's trying to. He places his hands like as if he's thinking. Reality is he's hiding his own fangs. Probably not that well.
Not with that roll.
No.
What do you need?
What they.
Gobble down everything she is. She's right here.
What I need is blood, thin and regular. But I would sooner. I sacrifice that ability to have you have someone to look over you. I gave you Antonio because I would sooner starve myself than allow you to end up being in danger when you're on your own.
I've never been unaware.
I am trying to end up finding a perpetrator. One who I can justify taking their own fate. To try and not become someone who simply hunts. But what I need will enslave me. And if I were to do that, I need to know that my vassal is worthy. It is a dangerous game I play, and not one that I play lightly. Everything in me is telling me, bite into you and take everything. That is my want. And I refuse it.
I still talk to Alfonso. If you need something from him, I could maybe get a hold of him tonight. I don't
Alfonso,
know how late it is, but
Alfonso is what I am dependent on. I cannot subsist. I am ashamed to admit this, but I cannot subsist on kind as you and the others do. I cannot do it. This thing, whatever this is, erodes at me. I know it. Every time I have tasted the blood of Cain, I am a little less me. Damnable curse of blood, no doubt. So, to maintain who I am, what I am, I feed upon the kind, or the kindred, and leave the kind to you all. It is why I teach responsibility and provide the best I can for fledglings and neonates under my guise. Your strength is mine, and my strength belongs to all of you. And I am partake of you would be to bind myself, however temporary. And I will not stop at one. We'll do it again and again. And I hunt those who break the laws I have set in this domain, those that have been approved by Delgado. Because who would willingly offer their veins, their existence into the hungering jaws that I am? Who would end up doing something so reckless and stupid? And then risking themselves. I am proven to be weaker than I need to be. I need more pardon. See, I cannot speak correctly. I am so hungry.
Urian, you're putting a lot of pressure on yourself right now, and I understand that. But right now, you have a certain set of things you've got to work with. And as your
Here's
student, I want to continue to learn. What can we do? I want to help you. I don't care about costs or prices. I want to make sure you're okay. And I know that's stupid, but that's what it is.
We'll get back to the haven. And we will have a talk with everyone. If I am to show any of you an amount of trust, we are to understand our relationship total. I would not have it as a secret amongst my pupils. I shall figuratively be naked before you all in what I am.
Just standing there bare ass. Do you want me to get the others then?
Come in time. You'll come in time. He starts repeating this like a mantra, trying to convince himself that it's not going to take too long, yet every second is clearly agonizing as he forces his hands back on the wheel, just gripping it tightly, trying to keep focused at the task at hand, because all I think of is the hunger.
Urian, I would like you to make me a frenzy check.
Any modifiers?
+1 with M. You're able to keep a lid on it. There's no blood present, you don't smell anything, you don't see anything. But it's right there, right on the tip of your fangs.
Thankfully, I'm only at hunger 4.
And so M, you go and find the others.
Yes.
Yes.
How many
Say again?
in total, like, for the hunger points? When I fed that, like, when I was feeding on the guy?
You said 2 that you wanted, yes?
Yeah, 2, so I only took 2 off. Okay, just making sure.
Yep.
Could... Yeah, I'll go find the others.
Okay. So as you see fit, everyone does meet back up at the vehicle.
When everybody enters, To be clear, everyone has fed their fill, yes?
That actually reminds me.
Mhm.
Benji was having Carlos hunt.
Yep.
Try hunting on his own.
I will make a roll for it.
Cool.
Oh god, unsupervised. This will be fantastic.
No. Benji was right behind him.
Okay.
No.
on his own, but not unsupervised.
Okay.
So
He saw it. Now he's got to apply the skills.
Oh, what roll is he going to use? Let's see. You know what? He's going to use what he's good at.
He better.
You going alley cat?
Yep.
Oh
Go.
yeah.
And he's going to have a +1 for your presence. He is not successful, though.
Oh.
Benji urges him. Come on. Give it another shot. Gotta press harder than that.
He's going to try one more time, but this also means that he's spent a whole hour behind this bar trying to find someone to feed off of.
Benji buys a beer. And during this time, while Carlos is looking, he just takes the beer, dumps about half of it out in the restroom, returns back to Carlos just in time.
Mm-hmm.
There's a reason for this.
Trying a different tactic.
No, Benji's just prepping.
All right. Then he's going to try and find someone that he can pull into that alley and beat the crap out of. He currently does not have anything on him. Oh, hey, look. He was actually successful this time.
Oh, good.
How far do you let him go?
Feeding or beating the crap out of some poor fool.
Both.
Benji lets him get a few punches in, makes sure he doesn't make any terrible bruising. Just gently sets the bottle down once the guy is grappled to the ground. After that, Benji lets him feed 2 dots, makes sure he licks. Showing him, if you lick, it heals the wound.
Okay. And then
Scrape
Carlos
and
is going to try a trick. A trick that Urian just taught him. Forget. And then leaves the scene.
They did it.
The
They
mad
did.
son of a bitch, he did it.
But you all have spent a grand total of about 3.5 hours at this bar.
Busy night.
Half the night away.
Yep.
So you all get back to the vehicle, and Urian is still there, white knuckling the steering wheel. And you all get back in the van, or Amber, do you take your car?
I'm taking my car.
Okay. So Amber can speak with you guys for a moment and then leave when she fails. But the rest of you are in the car.
Benji sees Urian just all kinds of pent. He thinks about it for a moment. You said Nosferatu know each other.
Yes, I'm sorry. Gee, I was distracted.
You're all right. Yeah. So they know each other and they know a lot of information.
Yes.
And you said you knew a Nosferatu.
Yes.
Could we maybe, just maybe, this Nosferatu would know where to find what you need?
Yes, but for me to ask, you would then know why.
Clean in the turf.
You would not see it that way. You have
What if,
to assume that they,
what if somebody else?
in which case that would show incompetence on my part, not being able to care for my domain. He owes me greatly, but I am. Let us go back home, and I will present a case.
Right?
And so all of you, including Amber, yes,
Yes, including Amber.
go back to the coterie house, having fed your fill for the day, and you enter the house, and you are all sitting in the front room.
Urian is standing as he's asked everybody to take a seat. You can see that he's pacing, nervous. Probably the first time you've seen him like this. Usually he's very stoic, very composed. Not in this case. He stops, thinks about it. Let me get this secret out in the open amongst us.
Also, is Carlos here?
Yes.
Okay.
I want him to be here. And I make it a very strong point to make sure Carlos is there. I want him to be aware that he is there by my choice. Carlos, have you fed tonight?
Yeah, I'm good. I'm better.
How did he do, Benji?
He did great. Showed him the ropes and then had him take the wheel.
Carlos, I am grateful that the curse upon myself is not falling.
I don't understand.
You will. We maintain ourselves through acts of humanity to end up being more than mere beasts that stalk the evening, be it for the love of dance, passion, gestures towards amber, be it for the sport, the true competitiveness of man, gestures to wit, Benji, be it for knowledge and prestige, gestures toward him, or even for having someone to protect. He looks towards Carlos. This is what makes us more than a ravenous beast, and it is something that we must safeguard. So what I am about to tell you, I hope, will not leave the confines of this room. I am unable to feed upon kind or animal. I am unable to take in the bagged blood from medical professionals. I can only imbue the blood of other kindred. I have no doubt that a few of you have already suspected or known. But rather than keep it a point of secret, or something that would be used against me in amongst this coterie, I would rather you know exactly what you have been placed under. I would not fault any of you for leaving at that point. Knowing what we are, that puts it in the point of just how dangerous I can be. To put this into terms you can understand, Carlos, this is a shark trying to take care of barracuda.
Mm. Okay.
unfortunately, my need to feed is, well, overwhelming. It is compromising my judgment and the masquerade at this current point.
Rip
So,
and tear.
so, see, they just suddenly became aggravated.
So, sorry, did I lose sound? Hello? Give me a moment, everyone. I seem to have lost the Discord. Uh, what is going on here? We're still good. Okay. Oh, well, fucking butts. Alright.
Hello.
Hello.
There we go.
Alright.
Alright, Discord decided to be a goof.
Get just
Okay.
started to derp. I heard so.
So, after explaining the Barracuda incident,
Mhm.
so at this point I have to feed upon the blood of kindred. I have stayed to thin bloods if possible, for fear of binding myself to another kindred.
You see that Carlos gets a little confused, but doesn't actually pose a question just right now.
I will explain in time, Carlos. So, this is where and you can see he's choking on the words. You can see that I am now with limited options. But there is one. Before I suggest it, I wish to make it very clear to all of you. If you wish to leave, you can do so freely. I can only ask that you do not speak of this. If you do, well, that will be that. But you all are my strength. As I have taught, as I have guided, and done all I can to protect all of you. I do not claim this as a debt. That is my duty to the domain and the promise I make to each of you. But your strength is my strength. I always have been dependent upon the coterie to which I serve. In its most naked form, I would request for those who are willing to do so to end up offering me. He's choking on his own words again. He doesn't want to say it. Offering me the vitae of your own veins. If done properly, I can maintain myself indefinitely so long as I myself calmed. But that means as you hunt, you are hunting for yourself and I. And in turn, I am assisting in your hunts. I am assisting you in your development. Your strength is mine. If this is unacceptable, you may leave. If you do not wish to offer, I can understand why, and I will never ask again. I have nothing more I can accept plain, simple truth. That if I do not, fear if I do not do it now, that I will end another's existence, this time permanently. He just lowers his head in shame.
Benji nods his head. Yeah. I think we talked about this before, actually.
Not openly.
No. Well, I think it's fair to say I'm already in this deep with you. If it really scares you, then I'm willing to offer myself on that.
Yurien looks up, Benji. He doesn't raise his head, just nods. There's a awkward humility or something that has held itself so high. And then he starts to look at the others. Here, there, or who is already walking towards the door. He suspects it'll be more than he bargained for.
I think starts to walk towards Irian. I already want you to know that I'm eternally grateful for all that you've given me. And as your student, I will be by your side, no matter what.
Thank you, him. You would make me cry tears of blood if I had the blood to spare.
She turns back around to sit back down, sorry.
That's right. Amber is also going to get up, and she's not gonna move towards the door. She kind of looks to Yuri and she says, "Over the past couple of nights, although you and I have had our disagreements, Mr. Doyle, I've learned something. And despite anything that may go on, if I am a member of this coterie, or so you say, we live together, as she uses that in air quotes, we thrive together, and we are only as strong as our weakest link. And the last thing I'm going to do is abandon someone who's willing to put themselves on the line for me.
You do this kindred credit, Emperor. And finally, he looks to Carlos. Carlos, I understand if you would decline. But as a part of the free living dead, and as my child, while I would have every right to force you in this regard, I have already forced enough upon you. This is a decision. The first true decision you will be able to make.
That's kind of a lot. I don't know what the implications are. Um, but you want to help me to set up a good life for my daughter, so that at the very least I'm not going anywhere. I don't think I have a choice in that matter. Um,
When I feel you have at least a tantamount grasp to what we are and what we do and the importance of secrecy, I have no qualms in allowing you to go if that is what you want. But I am very cautious when it comes down to our secret.
right.
But if this is something that you will not do, I would understand. Your murderer is asking for your clemency and kindness. That could be considered insulting in some circles. So I would not fault you for it. And yet, if you've learned anything from Benji, or M, or Amber, perhaps there's a reason they are deciding the way they are.
I'll think about it.
This is not a think about the decision, truthfully. But
I won't say anything. I don't know enough to really understand what it is that you're asking me, or what that means, or if that's a danger to myself, or if that's a danger to you, or if that's...
it's a danger to both of us, is the implication. The reason I end up doing as I do. Well, I need somebody strong who is capable of pulling me off whoever it is I'm feeding on should I start to go too far. And I need to keep my feedings infrequent to avoid binding myself.
Right.
Which means I must be very selective and very patient. And when I do act, those acts have to be swift and thought out. I do not have blood to spare. But I will promise you this. I am composing for a way to end up making sure you can provide for your daughter. I am trying to orchestrate ways to feed you all. I am trying to orchestrate the allies needed to hold our bit of turf. And I am trying to prepare ourselves for an oncoming storm. This is my job to all of you. I will go to my own room. You may discuss it amongst yourselves. If you are to offer. Benji, I would appreciate it if you would find a stick in that cabinet. Just in case. This is how much faith I have in you all. starts to walk towards his room, trying to hold it all in.
Carlos just looks at everybody. You're
I think
really willing to do whatever it takes for this guy.
I mean,
Do you have
Yes.
doubt?
He fucking shot me in the face.
Well, in my opinion, if you're having doubts, I really don't think you should be here.
I don't exactly have a choice in that regard, do I?
Even though it's dog eat dog, I mean, let's see if you can make it. You just don't want anybody who could crumble on your end if you're at such a pivotal moment.
Carlos,
It's.
Uh-huh.
Sorry.
this is gonna be a hard night, and I don't imagine I'm going back to my place anytime soon. Want you to take. Benji pulls out his ID and his phone. He hands it to Carlos, and then he hands his keys. He tells Carlos the address of La Medianoche. Says, tell the bouncer at the door that Benji sent you. Ask to see Isabella.
Is that where I'm staying the night? Then?
That's where you're staying.
Okay. Cool. Cool.
Yep.
Yeah. How do I get there? How? I don't have a vehicle here.
That's why I gave you my keys. I gave you. Here's the address. And Benji just grabs a quick paper, writes it down, hands it to him.
Okay.
That's the address. Go there. My keys for my Honda. It's just that dingy silver thing in the front.
All right. Cool. Yeah. Cool. I guess I'm going then.
I'll come by tomorrow morning. He pats Carlos on the back.
Morning?
Night.
Sorry. Force of habit.
That's something to get used to, I guess.
Yeah.
And he goes to the door and exits, taking Benji's car to La Medianoche.
Benji looks over to the two girls. I know what I'm in for. I already owe Urian a lot. Specifically for that punk ass I just sent out the door. And for a dying man downstairs. So a life for a life. That's what it means to me.
And but nods solemn. You're not incorrect in that. I suppose I would say that I owe him as well, although not in so much of a formal capacity. He had many times where he simply could have turned me away. He didn't. I think in repayment, the least I can do for him is help him to stay alive.
Ember, does your sire have a lot of contacts?
I would say that he does.
I know Urian said that there's a lot of questions in the credibility of it, but I think it's possible that we could reword it if he has the information in the leads. Someone saw us doing something once. Someone in Jameson's territory. Kidnapping Emmanuel. If we want to frame it, we can frame it in blood. Anyone in our domain. I'm not good at lying though.
We could do that. That is a thing that we could do. The thing is, though, is that that doesn't fix the right now.
No. Benji looks over to M. Oh,
M?
Discord issues.
Can y'all hear me?
Now we can.
Oh, thank heavens. I'm like talking Mike. Anyway, M looks back at Benji slightly confused. So what's our plan? Do we even have a plan?
I mean, that's what we're deliberating.
Oh. Well,
Urian's desperate. He needs support now.
I know that.
So here's the deal. Either we're all in or we're all out.
Well, of course I'm all in.
Our-
I've been saying this like since, you know.
Perfect. All right.
I'm also in.
Okay. Then who's in with him in this moment?
I've known him longer.
Would you be comfortable with that?
Of course. He's Urian. I'll be able to. I've got this.
Did you read enough?
Oh, yeah, plenty.
M, are you lying?
Well, I mean, she only.
We know.
Yeah. Yeah, she only got 2 dots, so she's lying. But she's. I mean, I guess she's not trying to. Yeah, no, she's lying.
Are you trying to hide it on purpose? Or are you being... Or are you
Oh yeah, she's trying to be like super. Everything's cool. We got this, friends. That kind of thing. But in reality, she's shaking in her boots.
M, make me a manipulation subterfuge. I just want to see if they pick up on it.
Can I roll insight on that?
Yes, you may. Wits
I'd also like to roll insight on.
Wits insight.
Could I, by chance, use like performance at all? Because she's trying to put on a face that everything's fine, or nah?
This is specifically a subterfuge roll. You are specifically
Okay.
lying. You are not performing in any way, right? Or
Right. Okay. So it's manipulation plus
subterfuge.
subterfuge. Let me get that. Gosh.
She is lying through her fucking teeth.
Oh heavens.
See through her like a
Her,
stained glass
her
window.
teeth are chattering because of how nervous she is.
Yep.
Oh my god. All right. How about this, M? Split the deal.
Between me and you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, that's probably a less opportune situation, but
Right. All right. I'm down for this.
okay. We'll pull a chalice.
So you pull a glass out of the cupboards and you head towards Urian's room.
Yep. Benji also makes sure to grab a steak.
Grab that steak. Got it.
Would we be able to put the blood in
That's a good idea.
your hand? Because him seeing our hands probably cut open wouldn't be a good idea.
I think that would actually be either a wits or intelligence occult,
It would be an occult
because
roll.
that
Mhm.
might be actually a worse idea.
Yep. Let's see if whoever wants it can take an intelligence roll plus occult.
Not me.
Mm.
Hold on.
Oh my god. I only have 2 dots for that total.
I have looked at all of your character sheets for that roll.
Oh my god.
Oh god. All right.
This
Well,
is
if
why
anyone-
we need Urian.
If anyone has willpower, then that would be more opportune. Benji does not have willpower and has not fed for that, so
I have like. I mean, I've got most of my willpower left, but I didn't have a lot to begin with.
M, do you want the roll?
Yeah, I'll take it for Urian.
For
My
Urian,
buddy.
your buddy.
Okay, so what was it?
Wits plus or intelligence plus occult.
Okay.
we're just gonna enter a coterie blood bond pact.
The mother of all blood weddings.
God.
Wait. Yeah.
And then I'm doing a roll.
Yep.
Third episode name idea: Blood Orgy.
And is that
There is a high likelihood that Urian might frenzy the second he whiffs that blood. It actually might be safer just to feed him and have Benji pry him off you than to have that when it's completely unimproved or while you're both in a weakened state.
Mm.
And then how many dice do I re-roll?
You don't actually have any normal dice to
Oh.
roll.
Oh,
So
To
two
reroll.
successes
The
is the
two
maximum.
successes is all you have.
a maximum. Okay, never mind then.
Yep.
There we go.
So what Derek said is true. You get the sense that as soon as Urian gets a whiff of that, he's donezo.
It's rolling the dice, literally, and
Alright.
metaphorically.
She'll reassure that it's better to go upstairs.
You
Benji, make sure yeah, you pry him off me, cause I've been eaten before and it's not fun.
Yeah.
So
Benji sticks the steak in his back pocket, but more importantly, he just. All right.
All right. So do all three of you head upstairs, or just the two of you?
Yeah, Amber's going up as well.
All right. So everyone
She's
makes it
not.
up.
She's not gonna let Benji get fed on. Benji needs to be at the top of his game to pull
Pull Urian away.
Urian away.
Exactly. So all three of you make your way upstairs to Urian's room, giving the door a knock.
I think at this point, you probably wouldn't get an answer.
Who should go in first?
Let me step in.
Okay.
The moment you bring the chalice in, he's gonna jump. Probably.
So you already poured it?
I don't think so.
No, we didn't.
Okay.
Okay.
Because that's a bad idea.
Hmm. Okay.
So Benji walks in first.
Yes, sir.
Benji, the lights are out. You see red glowing eyes staring at the floor, or at least that's what it looks like at first. Until you realize that literally Urian is feeding on his own arm.
Hmm. I'm gonna turn on the lights, bud.
He licks his own wound. Understood.
Clicks it on. And ushers Am in.
So you've reached the decision.
Yes.
So, who's the one that's going to bear the burden?
It's Am.
She slowly raises her hand.
He looks up at M and opens his arms out as though he wants to hold her. You can see he's fighting back every emotion, trying to keep that stoic look to not completely shatter what's left of the visage of Urian Doyle. Come, child. Blessed child.
She's happy, and she's terrified. But without fear, she takes a step forward and another, and hurries into the arms of Urian just to get it over with, just so he can be done with this and we can all move on. She wraps her arms around him in return.
Are you sure? I need to know.
Her lips, barely a few inches away from his ear, whisper to him, like I've said, I am here for you, Urian. No matter what. And I mean that.
Urian, at that point, tries to be gentle, like as if he was back to his old self. Though, as he bites into her, the taste, kindred blood so much sweeter. The rush of her that was one of his greatest students. Taboo of it all. He will drink, but he will try and refrain himself. Not. They cannot both succumb to the hunger. He drinks softly, holding her. Maybe he's taken back to a gentler time. Does he have enough control to control how much he takes?
You hear a word in the back of your mind. Liliana. Make me a frenzy check.
Any bonuses?
+2 because you're in a controlled environment.
Oh,
Praise Liliana.
Yes.
a lot of tens, a lot of ones.
Mm-hmm. But that word snaps you to control yourself. Where the beast inside of you would have ravaged her, you are able to snap it back and heal it. Urian Doyle is in control of himself.
Urian is going to only take one hunger. He's trying to drink shallow. He is trying not to abuse this trust. He knows this is very short term. But he needs to prove he is beyond reproach in this. The bite, the kiss of Urian Doyle is as soft as an old lover. A sweet view of your feet novel. He holds on to you by the head and by the body, holding you up. As he drinks, his eyes become calmer. And for the briefest of moments, he just loses himself in that moment. Trust. Blood. But soon afterwards, you may feel his tongue in the wound. And it's knitting together. He takes a moment to look at you, realizing what he has done. Thank you, my dearest M. Benji, thank you. I suppose this would mean Amber and Carlos have decided to walk away.
Oh no, I'm there. I'm in the room as well.
I am sorry, Amber, I did not see you.
It's fine.
You can imagine this is not something I share openly. I can think a little clearer now. If I am to do this from you all, I need to be absolutely careful with expending myself. I have to take a great deal in the rotation. If it is done proper, it means you will be as I just was, but with a lot more options on the plate.
Well, on that note, we've been thinking. You said to me, Mr. Doyle, that I was a songbird who didn't really know what that meant. Not really.
He listens to Amber,
And
holding them close.
I think we might be able to little Songbird's cage to our advantage.
Before you go any further, he looks to Em, imagining she's still coming out of it. Are you okay, Em?
I'm. I'm.
You're a terrible liar.
No, I'm not. She pulls away from him and just smiles. Stop being so hard on yourself. Getting old.
Yes, I suppose I am. At this point, dear songbird, you have plan. If you wish for me to steal you away from the birdcage and put you into the shark tank as a preference, then I will assist in all ways I can. But that has to be your choice.
Well, the thought is one thing that I do know Sire has access to is contacts that maybe given my in with him, we might be able to use that to our advantage to set up additional feeding options for you.
Amber, you're young enough to not fully grasp what you are suggesting. But let me make this perfectly clear. Were your sire to know what I do, I best end up having all the protection that San Antonio has to offer. Because if I do not,
Oh, no. That's the thing. He's not going to know a thing. A Nosferatu. As far I was let known this earlier. A Nosferatu saw us while we were dealing with Emmanuel.
that
I'm
was
guessing that
mentioned, yes.
I'm guessing that's what Benji and Em were going to going and chasing after because I didn't see it.
Well, it's either that or one of M's blood.
But he's going to get told this, and Baron Jameson is going to be looking for some answers.
Let him. I'm
Well,
counting
that was
on that.
well, that was the thing. Why don't we piece together some answers of our own design, of our own choosing? Make him believe what we want him to believe.
To what end?
Well, I did hear a mention downstairs when Benji, Em, and I were talking about it of perhaps possibly framing of thin blood for it all. And then handing that thin blood straight over to you.
If you are sure, if this is what you wish, then I will make it so. But know that you are beginning to take your first steps into a very dangerous game. Even the kiddie table, the jihad, has its own dangers.
Oh. Oh, that is a nice little tidbit to know. We. It is a dangerous tank that I'm wanting to wander into. But that's the thing. If I do not prove that I'm worthy to be sitting at the grown-ups table, then there wasn't a lot of point now was there?
I suppose not. Nevertheless, patience is a virtue that you have, believe it or not.
Of course. Rome wasn't built in a day. It's an objective to work towards. And
Well, I suppose the worst case scenario is I can always eat him.
I
well,
think
yes.
that is where we're going to end tonight's session.
Oh, God.
Thank you,
Wow.
you four, for playing.
Thank you.
Thanks.
That could
That's
have
one
been.
blood
think
bond to M.
Yes, please add that to your character sheet.
Excellent.
I already did.
That could have been so much messier.
Mhm.
Yeah,
so
be grateful
much
Urian has a
messier.
stupid amount of composure and resolve.
He is a stupid amount of willpower. Good on him.
Yeah.
I was so scared that he was gonna ravage M, but yes,
Same. ST,
yes,
if I may.
yes.
Earlier in the evening, we met a man named Javier, and Benji tidbited him of La Medianoche after showing him a good time.
I believe I would have 2 stains after all this.
Oh fuck.
2 stains.
Yeah. Both for the same reason. Indulgence instead of abstinence, and I've practiced abstinence twice tonight.
Yes, you have. You have broken your own conviction.
Oh shit.
This is the damned if you do, damned if you don't situation. Another reason why Urian says, if I'm gonna feed on you all, it's gonna be in bulk. Like, feed up, and Urian's gonna take 3 every time.
Go ahead and roll me that remorse.
Oh, thankfully I'm not.
Whew.
You feel awful for as much as you put that off, for as much as you did not indulge yourself in M's taste. You feel terrible that you had to resort to that in the first place.
It's a lack of control over the situation,
Yes.
a lack of resources. I need to focus in.
Not gonna let this happen again. Congratulations, everyone.
What I was saying, could I add Javier as herd?
The difference between 2 dots and 3 dots is where you have at least 5 more people.
Okay, well, can we consider that one of 5?
That is 1 of 5 building towards your 3rd dot and herd, yes.
All right.
Yes. Giving him a good time. Right up the butt.
God.
But yeah, everybody gets one experience for playing tonight. Uh,
Yeah.
so the other criteria are that we have best scene, best one-liner, and who moved the plot the furthest. So, plot mover.
Plot mover. Question.
Feeding was the plot today. Who moved the plot?
Benji took the girls to dinner.
Yeah, Benji
Did.
took.
Thanks, Benji.
Mm-hmm.
Emma appreciates it. She was like such a hangry bean.
Took the whole coterie to dinner. There you go.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Anyone disagree? Have a retort?
Nope.
Mm-mm.
if I wasn't gonna give it to Benji, I'd give it to M for helping Yuri invade, because that was the high bar difficult.
That was the high bar tense.
That was the
That
high
was the
bar.
sphincter moment.
Oh, yeah, no, it was a sphincter moment.
I'm not gonna lie, it was. But yeah, Benji, you get
I've got a
moved
song
the
for this
plot.
occasion. Nope.
Best scene.
Yes, I love that song.
Best scene.
Mm-hmm.
Toss up with M and Urian because it was all their scenes. I want to argue they both get it.
Yeah, I want to argue that too, especially for that. I said for Urian's feeding scene. That was a performance by both of.
Mm-hmm. Derek, Fluffy.
I'm down if both.
If you go both, it's a high or low. High,
Yeah.
you have to choose. You get it. You land it. Then you both get it. You don't land it. You both don't get it.
Where are you on this one, Derek?
Depends. Do you trust me?
The theme of the episode today.
Yeah.
Do you trust me?
It's so good. It's all so good. Ugh.
What's the decision?
Sorry, I'm probably. God damn it. Probably Urian. Because, like, he's this one who's struggling. He's the one going through it. You know?
Mm.
I don't know.
that would make it that Urian would get the
If Emma's given up and giving it to Urian, then that would be the decision.
Yeah. I'm okay with that.
All right.
Urian gets it. One liner
I'd like
or a
to think I
memorable
already-
line.
memorable
so
memorable
many.
lines.
Oh, I'm stealing that one. I am flat out stealing that one.
Yeah,
We had a few good ones.
Oh, we did.
I know which
We
one I
did.
have in mind,
Oh.
but I don't have
Yeah.
to say. It's between you guys.
No, I got to give it to that whole bit of you're a wizard, Carlos. You mean like Harry Potter? Who?
That's the one I was thinking of.
See, my other pick would have been, why would you go to a bar where you just gaze at one another?
It's a bar for gays. Why would you go to a bar where you just stare at each other?
Yeah, no, either way, it's definitely my vote's definitely going to Urian.
Urian, you
That's-
old fuddy duddy.
I seriously thought it was a gay culture thing. Like, gay people back in the day could not be gay in public. So you just would stare at each other and not hit on each other, but like give each other bedroom eyes from across the fucking room. That's gay culture, okay? No one says the first word.
No one says the last one either.
So was
That is
everybody
dual mode.
unanimously voting
And now
Urian?
nobody will shut up.
Yeah,
Yeah, no, it's unanimous to
for
Urian.
sure.
All right, Urian, you get that one-liner.
All right. So I know full well that I am spending that 3 experience right now.
Oh, What you spending
Yep.
it on, my big spender?
I am spending it on herd 1.
You take herd 1. Okay, how would you justify it?
And
Because the cults?
I've been building up this cult.
Yep.
And I am putting it in coterie have merits.
Oh, okay. Spending coterie merits for that.
I am offering 3 dots for the coterie. Yep.
All right.
So that's
Then,
a shared background.
Herd 1 goes into the coterie.
Oh, wow.
And therefore, once per week, so if you spend it, you have to wait a week to spend it again. But once per week, 1 dot of hunger can be removed from any of you who want to feed.
Oh,
That's why herd is so good, because each week you can slake up to the dots in herd
Yep.
in hunger.
Once per week. But if you spend it, then you have to wait a week to use it again.
Yep.
In
Oh,
character.
that's actually a thing that I need to ask you, Coffee, as
Yes.
you can see my sheet. If you have multiple dots in herd, is it just one spending of the dots in herd, or can you split the dots over multiple spendings?
You can split the dots over multiple spendings. If you do that, do keep track of what dots you spend on what in-character day and how many days it's been since you've spent that dot, because they will refresh after that point.
Okay. Yep.
1 week from expenditure.
Yep.
Okay.
Typically, herd. So, herd 3 means you can hunt it. You only have to hunt it frequently. Typically, herd 3 would allow you to almost be able to go without hunting indefinitely. Herd 4, you're solid for an entire week, and you will start to gain blood faster than you would spend it just by rising. Herd 5, you literally can be reckless with blood if you are choosing to hunt and herd. And this is what Urian does. This is him setting up the ground to be able to end up making it easier for everybody else. His strength is theirs.
Yep.
And
Quite
if
literally.
he can set it up, if he can set up the domain so they can have the easiest time feeding, if they can have the easiest time having access to blood, suddenly now when he ends up saying, "Yeah, I'm going to be taking, 4 blood points out of you right then and there," it's like, okay, we torped him. That'll take about 15 minutes to fix.
ST.
Yes.
I have experience I would like to spend.
Yes, my dude.
First and foremost, in the specialty. It doesn't necessarily have to be insight, but more specifically, I thought of another one. Insight, streetwise, kindred activity.
That's more of a politics specialty.
Politics? I don't have dots in politics.
You'd be able to take your first dot in politics if you wanted to spend that 3.
What would be taking the first power and celerity be?
5.
5?
Yep. Celerity is yes for
I can do all of it.
Oh, you can do all of it.
I can do all of it.
Damn, real big spender.
Gonna do 1 dot politics, 1 dot in celerity.
1 dot politics, 1 dot celerity, and because I had 11 experience, I can also take that specialty.
Oh, big spender.
Right. Wow, you can really do it all. Damn.
Big spender.
Benji just realized he's got to be a man with a plan, so he's gonna do that.
All right.
He's learning how to plan to be the man with the plan.
That is being able to identify when kindred are out and about in the area.
Well, that's more kindred activity is more what's the word on the town as to what people are up to.
Okay.
If you're wanting to spot kindred, that is very hard in this city, as I've discussed with you on in the private message.
Yes, I could either take insight or streetwise on that. I think maybe. Probably closer to insight.
Streetwise would be more suspicious activity. Insight would be also suspicious activity.
Yeah, you're looking for
If
suspicious
you're looking for
kindred.
kindred specifically, that will always be a difficulty 7.
Maybe difficulty 6 if we can get one more dot into our stock, but we
Yep.
need to justify getting more people in.
Yep.
Well, okay, so I'll tell you what my plan was
Mm.
if they did find a thin blood for me.
Mm.
Honestly, this was going to be the thing. Kindred is presented. I would end up asking for the crime, what have you.
Mm.
They would present. I would end up saying, "Is there any evidence of this?" If there is no evidence, like they're just trying to throw this kindred under the bus for urine to feed, it would likely be Amber who's trying to press the case, and he would have drained Amber right then and there. And
Mm.
here's the reason. Follow me on this,
Mm.
because as soon as he does that, he would end up literally making a speech about the thin bloods have as much right to end up feeding here as any. This one is innocent, but to end up throwing them under the bus for another is unacceptable.
Yep.
I am a stern believer in asking for permission and to end up approaching. I no thin blood should be ashamed or fearful to ask. Specifically to end up making that one go and say, tell the others if they wish to feed here, it will be there will be a tax upon it, but you will also end up having the protection of Urian Doyle.
Yep. And
It
people are
was
learning the
literally
laws.
it was literally a political play.
Mm-hmm.
So the Thin Bloods are like, yeah, we might have to give up a little bit, but
This guy's gonna back
then
us. Yeah.
we got a backer. The Thin Bloods have a backer, right?
Mm-hmm.
In which case, yeah, you would probably end up making sure Amber was fed afterwards. Applaud her on her cunning, and when she freaks out as why the hell you did that, he said, because you just offered me a political opportunity you could not have dreamed. And I'm pretty sure she would have stopped, thought about it for 2 seconds, and reacted with the,
Oh no,
you
you're right.
magnificent bastard.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, that, well played.
Well played.
Yeah, it's like
Good sir.
you absolutely magnificent bastard.
You know? It's like, well, geez. You just took a short-term solution and turned it into potentially a long-term solution. Fuck. So, once again, Urian's the guy with the plan.
The man with the plan, even when shit's going real crazy, real hungry, and he's like, "This is a thing I could use to my advantage?" Question mark. Ooh.
Yep. Yeah, I'm pretty sure lethality would have been cool with that one. He's like, that would have been a twist.
Yes.
Would have been a spicy twist, like
Yes.
a Cheeto, like a red hot Cheetos.
Hey,
Um, Then if there's no
Alright.
if I'm not gonna get if I have no clear answer with the spotting thin blood business, then I'm just not gonna spend the points on that. But I am spending on celerity.
So to spot kindred,
Mm-hmm.
Especially thin
It's-
bloods is super hard.
it's not a visual thing. That's the first thing you need to remember. You remember on how Urian is specifically like, he's not going after and hunting them and that's a thin blood or that's a kindred. It's he's putting himself in places where they hunt. He's looking for evidence of them, right? Yeah. But he is legitimately having to go step by step and hunt them. It's not just one role for him.
Yep.
It can't be.
If that were the case, you would you rule something like taking a specialty to something like awareness to pick up the signs that there's been hunting here?
Since animalism does allow for the ability to spot more or less a kindred with a contested role, that would be your option to get a better difficulty on it.
Yep. That is a discipline Urian is trying to develop.
Yep.
But at this point, I hate to say it.
He would benefit from it a lot, but it's
Yeah,
probably
but
something
right
that's
now,
going to take a while.
because of the whole Calhoun thing, Urian needs firepower and allies more than he needs the ability to hunt.
Mm.
I'm sorry to say.
Actually, Spectre,
Hmm?
instead of the skills boost, you were taking that 1 dot celerity, right?
Mm-hmm.
You were at 11 XP total. That'd leave you with 6 to spend.
Yep.
Why don't you just hold on to that until you get another one, and then attempt to develop that 1 dot dominate you wanted?
The 1 dot dominate would require that Benji have a teacher or randomly luck out on a clot.
Well, he does have a teacher.
He does have a teacher.
He does have a teacher.
He does have a teacher. Just have to convince Isabella whether or not he wants to do it.
That's not the only teacher.
Well, there's
Yeah.
several people, but yes.
No, like in here right now, Urian's job is to teach him. If that's what he wants,
That's
Yeah.
true.
Urian would be willing to do so.
Yes.
It
So
would be
you-
more. It would be more him testing Benji to see how he's come along politically. Like, how can you politically maneuver yourself into a position where I have to say yes? That would be the test.
That would be the test, and that would be
So
Right.
then, is the clot necessary, yay or nay?
the resonance would be. You wouldn't have to necessarily be 100% clot, but you probably want to match up the resonance just to be safe.
And I mean,
Make sure
doing
it
the
takes.
resonance is a lot easier than
It
finding
is.
a clot.
It really is.
I mean, you need what?
You need
Relaxed,
a 10.
reflective, etc.
When it comes to if you're just trying to pick up a resonance off a rando, that's going to be a random dice roll. If you're going to pick up on somebody who's specifically been in a specific residence, like for dominate, it's like a melancholic or whatever. And
It's phlegmatic.
phlegmatic. Then you go for somebody who's being specifically who is specifically in that particular state and has been for a while. That gives you a better chance of having a high resonance.
That's hard to find, though.
It is, and that's the point.
That's the point. That's the resonance. That's the resonance thing. Intensity is always random. I will always
Okay.
random roll that.
Here's the thing. You can control it, but that means you have to stop feeding randomly. Like that's ultimately, even Detroit does this, and a few other games do this, where they're not really playing to their feeding type. They're kind of just picking off some poor bastard in the middle of nowhere, when in reality, like, hunting consistently is a consistent almost ritual, right? And because of that, you're kind of building up your individuals, your herd, well, not even herd, but just your targets, right?
Yeah, the people you go
This
after
is
the most.
Benji had an idea.
Oh god, now it's getting dangerous.
Phlegmatic, reflective. What is a reflective mood? Religion.
Yep.
There's some black mass being accumulated. Why didn't I think of it? Just have my herd go to that.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you
Or-
want to regularly incorporate your herd into the black mass and have them kind of stew in that phlegmaticness, then sure, I'll let you change the resonance when available.
Doctoring them. Okay.
Yep, if you want to start doing that with your herd to change their resonance, then we'll make the first steps to do that with the next black mass.
Is it wrong that I'm kind of smiling on how sick Urian has become because of this shit? And how it's just starting to influence everybody?
Amber's gonna definitely keep her herd very solidly in the Sangui. She needs her flight of horny broads.
In any case.
In any case, that does it for today. We are gonna log off. It is way past the regular stop time.
And I have another game to run.
Yes. I need to go to bed. I should have been in bed an hour ago. But
Same.
we had fun, and I had some really good intense scenes, and I love you all for it.
All right. You take care.
Yes, you
Thanks,
take care.
everybody, for watching. Have a wonderful night, and we will see you back here Saturday for Caffeine Fix, where we're probably going to draw some more D&D art. So tune in then. Say goodnight, everybody.
Good night.
Good
Good
night.
night.
Good night.